All right, today we're going to do something a little different. We're not just going to read a chapter from the Bible, we're actually going to step back in time. We're heading into an ancient workshop to watch a master craftsman at work. So come on, let's dive into the incredible skill on display in Exodus chapter 37. Think about that for a second. How do you even begin to build something that's meant for God? This isn't just about following a set of instructions. It's a challenge that demands absolute devotion and perfect craftsmanship, where every single measurement, every piece of wood, every ounce of gold is packed with meaning. So let's step inside. You can almost smell it, can't you? That scent of freshly cut acacia wood, mixed with the sharp heat coming off the forge. And right there in the middle of it all is our guy, Bezalel. The text tells us he was filled with the Spirit of God, with skill, intelligence, and knowledge in every kind of craft. And we get to watch him work. So where does he start? He starts with the most important piece of all. This isn't just another item on the to-do list. This is the very heart of the tabernacle, the place where God's presence itself is said to dwell. This is the Ark of the Covenant. Okay, verse 1. Picture Bezalel choosing the wood. It has to be acacia. It's strong, durable, almost incorruptible. He measures it out with absolute precision, about 4 feet long and 2.5 feet wide and tall. Then, in verse 2, the real transformation begins. He takes pure gold, the symbol of the divine, and just covers everything, every surface, inside and out. That simple wooden box is completely gone, and in its place is this vessel that just radiates a holy golden light. Now for verses 3 through 5, watch him move over to the forge. He casts 4 heavy, solid gold rings and attaches them to the corners of the ark. Then he makes these long poles out of that same acacia wood and, you guessed it, covers them completely in gold. See him slide those gleaming poles right through the rings? This tells you something crucial. This amazing object, it's built for a job.
For verse 6, we zoom in on the lid. But listen, this is no ordinary lid. It's called the mercy seat. It's the symbolic throne of God. And here's what's so wild about it. This isn't wood covered in gold. No way. The text says he made a single, solid slab of pure gold. Imagine the weight, the sheer value of this one shining piece.
And this is where the artistry is just off the charts. Verses 7, 8, and 9. Picture Bezalel taking that solid gold lid and starting to hammer it. He's not attaching little statues. No, he is beating the gold at each end, skillfully pulling the metal up and out and forming 2 angelic beings, cherubim, right out of the lid itself. It's all one piece. Their wings stretch out to create this protective canopy, and their faces are turned down, towards each other, in this state of perpetual reverence. Just amazing. Okay, the ark is complete, gleaming in the workshop, but Bezalel's not done. He turns his attention to the next sacred object, the table of showbread. This piece of furniture was designed to hold 12 loaves of bread, a constant symbol of God's provision for the 12 tribes of Israel. So in verses 10 through 12, we see that same meticulous process. He builds a table from acacia wood, a bit smaller this time, about 3 feet long. And once again, he overlays the entire thing with pure gold. But then look at the detail. He adds this beautiful decorative gold border all the way around the edge. It's like a perfect frame for this sacred offering. Now, verses 13 through 16 get into the finishing touches. And we see that familiar pattern again, right? He forges 4 gold rings and gold-covered poles so the table can be carried. But then, verse 16 zooms in on the fine detail. He makes all the accessories from pure gold, tiny, perfect dishes, cups, bowls, and pitchers. Each one is a little masterpiece, gleaming on that golden surface. All right, if you thought the other work was impressive, get ready for what might be the most technically demanding piece yet, the menorah, the golden lampstand. And here's the astounding challenge. It cannot be assembled from parts. The entire thing has to be made from one single piece of hammered gold. Okay, verses 17 and 18, this is pure artistic genius. Try to picture this. Bezalel starts with one solid block of pure gold. And with this hammer, he starts beating the metal. He's not cutting, he's shaping, stretching, and drawing the gold out. First, he forms the central stem. Then, with just unbelievable skill, he hammers the sides, pulling the metal out to form 3 branches on one side and 3 on the other. It's like a golden tree is literally growing out of his hands.
And the detail work in verses 19 to 22 is just magnificent. He doesn't just make simple branches. With that same hammer, he shapes the gold into these intricate forms, ornamental knobs and flowers, just like almond blossoms, hammered directly into the branches and the stem. There are no seams, no welds, no glue. Every delicate petal is part of that original, single piece of gold.
And then you get to verse 24, and it tells us he made it from a talent of pure gold. Now, what on earth does that mean? Well, get this. It means this one object weighed about 75 pounds or 34 kilograms. Just let that sink in for a moment. The sheer weight and value concentrated in this single hammered work of art is just staggering. Now, the whole atmosphere in the workshops shifts a bit. The constant ringing of the hammer fades. We're about to focus on an object designed not just for sight, but for smell. This is the altar, where sacred incense will be burned, its smoke carrying prayers up toward heaven. So in verses 25 and 26, Bezalel builds this small, square altar, about 1.5 feet across. And the text points out another one of these brilliant details. He carves 4 horns that stick up from the top corners. But they aren't just attached, they are part of the very same block of wood. And then the entire thing, the top, the sides, even those horns, gets completely covered in pure gold.
And in verses 27 and 28, we see that now familiar design for being on the move. 2 gold rings, placed right under the molding, just waiting for the gold-covered poles. It reinforces this crucial point. Even the altar, this place of prayer and aroma, is ready to pack up and go at a moment's notice. So all the heavy construction is complete. The woodworking and the metal smithing are done. But Bezalel's job isn't finished yet. He's about to switch hats and become a completely different kind of artisan. And here, in the final verse, verse 29, Bezalel becomes a master perfumer. These aren't just afterthoughts, they're essential. He carefully measures and blends all these rare, precious spices to create the holy anointing oil, the very thing used to consecrate all these objects. And he creates the special incense for worship. The workshop, which once smelled of wood and metal, now fills with this rich, complex, and sacred fragrance. And so there it is. The work is finished. The ark, the table, the lampstand, the altar, the oils, and the incense. Each piece is just standing there, gleaming. It's a testament not just to incredible skill, but to perfect, unwavering obedience. As the text makes clear, nothing was made up on the fly. Everything was made exactly as commanded. Which really leaves us with one last big question to think about, doesn't it? Why this level of detail? Why solid gold hammered from a single piece? Why were the dimensions so exact? What does this act of perfect, devoted craftsmanship tell us about the very nature of holiness itself? That's a powerful thought to end with.